game week's here. We're really excited about it. So I'm looking forward to getting the team ready and then just polishing things up for this week and make sure that we're ready for this trip. And so we're heading out a couple days early, like we normally do when we go out east, and we'll have an opportunity to practice a couple times out there and in that environment. And looking forward to the matchup. Expecting a really good, well-coached team from South Florida. We don't know a lot about them because they have some new, even though they have a lot of returning production, there's a lot of players that played quite a bit last year that are back. They've also added some transfers in the transfer portal. So there's some new bodies there, specifically with the quarterback, with Bohannon. Someone that we're familiar with that has a lot of ability and athleticism, can throw the ball. He's a seasoned vet. And so looking at that combined with, there's a lot of unknowns still. We don't know much about what they do on offense or what they do on defense with the new coordinators that they have. We'll have to be ready for everything, and we're prepping that way. That happens sometimes in season openers. Last year against Arizona, it's a very similar thing where we didn't know a whole lot going into that game. I think it's very similar. We have an idea, but they could do a lot of different things. Probably some of the things that were successful for what they saw last year against us. And so we're working towards all that and trying to cover all our bases with it. And looking forward to the matchup, though. I think once the game starts, we'll do our best with the scheme and strategies and let the boys just play and settle it on the field. So I know our guys are looking forward to the matchup, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll take any questions that you guys have for me.
We'll go Darnell and then Jared.
Good morning, Kalani. You've made reference to sports scientists on your staff during the fall camp. What's been the impact of them on fall camp, and as you see the impact throughout the season?
Yeah, two men specifically they're talking about are Kobe Clausen and Skylar Main. And those two additions to our staff has been huge for. They have the background to with the strength room, connecting the strength room with the training room, and then also using data and research to help get our guys in the optimal position for success, which is performance. And looking at that, I think it's been good for them. We've talked about being healthy. Bringing them in allowed us to be as healthy as we could, even though we pushed the guys quite a bit. It just helps out. That's our area of expertise, and so I like having them in the team. I like having them combined, working with sports medicine and working with the strength room. I think it's a really good system that we have in place right now, and just really thankful that they're here for us. That stuff I don't know, and in the past it's kind of you're just hoping that you're getting it right. And I mentioned before, hope's not a good strategy. Now we know when we could push guys, how we could push them. That's why last week, or a little bit more than a week, we did some really two physical moments of work. We thought we could do that on Saturday and Tuesday and still be okay, and never done that before. But the research and the data told us we could push these guys, and now we're trying to rally them back and get their legs back. Guys look really good on Saturday in Saturday's practice. I'm looking forward to see how they look today, and so everything is deliberate in how we approach the game, and we'll see how it works this week and going into Saturday.
Thanks, Coach.
Lonnie, it's been 8 months since the last game. A lot of work gets done during that time between spring camp, fall camp, all the off-season stuff, the conditioning. What is it like for you as the coach to finally get back to another game week after 8 months of just kind of prep work and building for these games?
Well, I guess the easy way to answer that is you guys have been waiting for this moment too, right? So all the media people are like, hey, let's get the season going, and fans are feeling that way. So you can imagine how the players and the coaches are feeling. We're excited for football to be back here. It was cool to watch week 0 happen last week, and preseason NFL games and high school football games are going on. So we're right in the beginning of it, and I like the next few months. What's about to happen with football, and I'm excited for it. I think the guys are really excited. we just had to get through the grueling parts of fall camp. And now that we're at this point, I feel really good about our team, feel good about our preparation. Like I said, there's a few unknowns on how we're, our opponent. There's some things that they don't know about us either, and so when we get to the field, we'll figure it out. But when it comes down to it, everybody has 11 guys on the side on the field performing, and we'll just have to adjust as we go along. But the fact that football is here, that's the energy and you just feel the energy and the excitement in everyone, not just the football program, but that's everywhere. You can feel from it doesn't matter who it is, the fans, media, staff, faculty, everybody's excited about football. So definitely the players and the coaches are too.
You mentioned pushing the guys and having those real physical scrimmages. There's also been, we've seen the posts of having fun, the top golf, going down the river, things like that. That balance, how important is it as you try and gear up and hit that right balance between really pushing the guys with the work and having fun so they're ready to enjoy the game and play at their best?
I think just trying to keep everything balanced, we want our guys to be great at football, and so the answer is that you just work football the entire time. But I also want our guys to love each other and enjoy being around each other, and so sometimes you take them out of the football field and you allow them just to be themselves and to hang out. And I really believe in team chemistry, allowing you to feel more trustworthy with each other on the field. I think right now when you talk football, they trust whoever catches up the ball the best. Jaren trusts whoever runs the routes the best. But getting to know somebody and even their vulnerabilities and being able to share some time together, I have to mix that with the adversity and overcoming the sore and the tired, right? Now we're adding it with good meals and activities and things like that. That's a family. We're trying to grow together as a family, and it's never perfect, but we're really working on it. And I like the way the family's loving each other right now. So that hopefully that'll pay off big for us on Saturday.
Jay, and then Jake.
Kalani, you guys are in your era 7-5 in East Coast Conference games, or when you play on the East Coast. What do you attribute that to, aside from obviously going the day early like you instigated?
Well, I mean, it's always hard to go a couple time zones away and to adjust to it, the climate. I mean, it's. I think that's always going to be part of the game, but part of the preparation. But when it comes down to it, it's just playing your best and seeing how you match up. I don't know all those games and how they planned out, but I feel really confident. And we know more now than we did when I was a player. So using the data is important, and having people to rely on to say, okay, yeah, this is a wise move. And we talked about preparing for the game last week. We didn't talk about it doing the day before. We're talking about being deliberate about your nutrition and how you hydrate, just your weight. We've been weighing the guys before and after every practice, so we know how we can replenish them along the way, and we'll be doing the same thing during the game. So I don't have all the answers, but other people do, and I'm okay with allowing them to give us their expertise and their feedback, and I'm seeing it help our players out so far. So hopefully this will help us, be 1-0 in 2022. That's all I'm focused on. The other stuff in the past, I think we've learned from it, where you can say, okay, going at this time would be beneficial. Going at this time didn't work as much, but now we have more data, more information to make us better, make wiser decisions.
And then I'm assuming you're releasing the depth chart today. Anything we're going to be surprised about, or is it pretty similar to what it was after spring camp?
Yeah, well, I think there's just the guys that didn't play in spring, right? And so maybe a few surprises, but I don't know, really surprises. You guys kind of know from what you've been able to see from our team. You kind of know who the guys are and who the depth is. I think you guys could probably figure out the depth chart before we even put it out. So, but yeah, I don't know if there's any surprises. There's not going to be any surprise, punter showing up or anything like that. Rico's our guy. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you need to even come out with the depth chart. We'll see. You guys can figure it out, and you guys should release it to everyone.
We try. We just don't want to be wrong.
Well, you just make up. I'll tell you, put 18 positions on defense and 14 on offense, and then just fill in the names. And I think you guys will be spot on. It should be a game. See if you can match it up with what the coaches think. I bet you wouldn't be far off. I don't know if it'd be 18 names on defense. I'm just making fun of that. But we will have our captains and our leadership, our co-captains or alternate captains announced later today too. We just wanted to make sure we announce it to the team before we let the public know.
Kalani, rain is in the forecast potentially for Saturday for the game. Are you doing anything in particular to prepare for that, or just to it in game?
Well, we've had some games where it's been some practices already that's been kind of wet, and had a scrimmage that was kind of wet. So I don't know if we really need to wet the field or put the ball in a bucket of water. But we just show up and play. They have to play in the same weather that we play in too. So if it's rain, then great. If it's snow, we can deal with all that stuff. We're going to go out there and play and have fun, and whatever shows up. Can't simulate the wind. I can't go put up a big old fan and have Rico kick into it. You just have to deal with it. So that's can't control all of it, but the stuff that we can control is how we're playing, technique sound on the field, and if we're making sure we're minimizing all the mistakes, trying to do all the fundamental football. Just play great fundamental football. We can control all that stuff. Whether the field is wet or not, that's not in my control. Lavelle could control that more than I did, and I haven't figured that one out yet.
I also wanted to ask you, last year you faced Gary Bohannon when he was at Baylor. What do you remember about him as a quarterback, and what do you expect from Saturday against him?
Well, his poise, first of all. He's been in tough situations and helped his team win, Big 12 championship. So it's not like going against our defense, and he has experience against our defense. So it's not like he's a guy that's kind of brand new to the game. I think when you're dealing with someone that you haven't seen, there's a lot of film of him. So his poise is the thing that I was really impressed with the first time we played him, and I continue to see him do that in every game that he played in. So I don't think there's going to be a lot that's going to surprise him. He has some new weapons to work with, and a new team and a new coordinator that we're kind of guessing on what we're going to see. But he's really talented, and I think we're going to get his best shot. We just need to make sure that he doesn't have as much success against us last time we saw him.
Mitch and then Kevin.
Kalani, what are your expectations for Jaren Hall this season?
Everything. I mean, he's our quarterback, so it's like what do you expect from your quarterback, especially at BYU, and especially under with A-Rod's offense. I think he's be a great decision maker and where he puts the ball, how to make the checks and make the proper adjustments during the play. The thing I won't have to worry about him is his leadership during the game and on the sideline, how he motivates the guys. The guys respond really well to him. So there's a lot of things I'm not concerned about. I'd like to see him just get out there and play and let loose. I think last year he was trying to win a spot. This year it's a different feel where he knew it's his spot. He was able to practice and maybe take some chances in practice, and I saw the same transition that Zach was able to do when he was here and felt like more comfortable with the starting spot. And so I think when we named him the starter early, it allowed him to focus on just playing the game and not worry about making mistakes in practice, because it would hurt his chance of winning the spot. Now he made mistakes in practice. Hopefully he got them all out of the way so we can play error free on Saturday. But I like him being aggressive, and I like him taking calculated risks, and I think that's what I saw a huge improvement from him in camp, and see how it happens on Saturday. But I feel confident in him and his abilities.
We didn't see much of Puka Nakua and Gunnar Romney in the final weeks of camp. Are they going to play on Saturday?
Yeah, right now everybody's we really don't talk about it until we're still on Wednesday. We'll probably have a better idea for everyone. But yeah, we're planning on guys playing. Nobody's lost for the season right now. We still have some work to do the next couple of days, but we feel good about those guys.
Going off of Jaren, have you had a conversation with him about the last time that he went and visited USF at all, or not really?
Not really. It seems so long ago, So, but he was doing great, so I'm not really worried about him. It's a different staff, a different team, same colors, same stadium, but I think he's a different player himself too than when we first went there. So I know he's excited to get the season going. It just so happens it's in Tampa against South Florida.
We'll take last question from Jared.
Kalani, I'm sure you've heard about the what happened at volleyball and some of the kind of the fallout and those things. You have obviously a lot of minority representation on the coaching staff and on your team, and when these types of situations arise where there's allegations of racial slurs or this type of thing, what do you do? How do you address it with the team? What do you guys talk about? Like, what's the approach to try and make sure it's handled internally and prepared for anything potentially that might come externally?
Well, our culture on this team is love and learn, and we follow Christ, and we talk about love one another. That was one of our main models on the team is words of Christ, to love one another. That means to love everyone and be inclusive of everybody. And I think that's the focus that we have, is just do whatever we can to help serve others and help make anybody that's struggling to ease their pain. And we do that by serving and helping. So we're always going to be focused on that. I think we're all the stuff that I don't know how much more I need to say about it, other than we're really focused on helping people and serving others, and love one another is going to be the key for us. And we're not perfect at everything that we do as a team, but I love where we're at, and I love the program, I love the people. I feel really confident that our guys are bought into our culture and are doing a great job at being ambassadors of it.
Great, thanks so much, Kalani.
All right, guys, thank you.